Good morning, Melissa here from GirlGoneFishing. It is 4:30 in the morning on Saturday, March 27th, and I'm getting ready to head to Rocky Fork for my first outing of the year. This is actually my first tournament too. This is the Cincinnati Kayak Fishing tournament at Rocky Fork. There's about 70 people signed up for it, so it should be exciting. It's my first outing of the year, so I don't really have my stuff organized yet. Don't even know if my kayak still floats. Fingers crossed. But I'm running a little late. I was supposed to leave about 10 minutes ago to meet Bert at the ramp, so I got to get going, but I will see you at the ramp for launch on Rocky Fork. All right, it's 7 o'clock, lines in, here we go, from Rocky Fork. Well, good morning from Rocky Fork Lake around Hillsboro, Ohio. So it's about 5 minutes after 7, just had lines in, I've made a few casts, but then I realized I need to tell you guys what I'm throwing. So I'm throwing the Evergreen Jackhammer from Z-Man in Fire Craw right now with a Kitech Easy Shiner trailer that has a little bit of orange and black flake. So I really had no idea what to start with. It's very still, so I think I'll throw this around for a little bit and then switch over to a worm. I think the chatterbait is just too much commotion for how still it is right now, so I'm going to try something quieter. Or not. Going to try my square bill. This is the Strike King hard knocker, so I think it makes a little bit more of a rattle, which might be good for a crawfish. All right, my instincts are telling me I gotta go quieter because it's so still this morning. So I'm gonna switch over to a Texas rig Senko, and this one is motor oil with red flake. So it's like a dark worm, which is good for the low light, with a little red flake, which might be good if they're eating crawfish. So let's see how it goes. All right, so I'm still at the mouth of the cove and it's a little deeper. So I'm taking off my square bill and I'm putting on the 3XD that runs to about 10 feet. I need to get more bottom wood contact with it. The other advantage is it goes a little deeper and it'll pull my kayak, and because there's no wind right now, I'm kind of staying in the same place, and I don't want to put down my fishing pole to paddle, so I can use the crankbait to move me along down the bank just a little bit and switch it up with the Texas rig Senko. God, I can hear boats running out there in the fog. That sounds scary. There's 2 other bass tournaments and a catfish tournament on this lake today, so one of them must have just released the boats, but man, to be running in fog this thick, that's just crazy. I'm glad I've got my light and my flag and I'm hanging over here right by the side. Hopefully they're not going to come roaring into all the wood in this cove. So this is the Navionics app that I use on my phone to try to find my way around and give me some idea of how deep the water is, since I don't have any electronics on my boat. So if you can see on the map, I'm going towards the back of a big long cove right next to my launch ramp. And I figured this was a safe thing to do while it was super foggy and there's boats zooming around out there with like zero visibility. So I'm right there on the little red dot, and I'm almost to the back end of this cove, and it's gotten kind of like slimy and lots of algae and stuff on the surface. So I've switched from my 3XD crankbait over to the Z-Man Jackhammer Evergreen chatterbait again, because it comes through everything so well. So hoping alternating the chatterbait with the Senko, Texas Rig Senko, I get something back here. If not, the sun's finally breaking through, and then I'll head back up towards the main lake. So we're 2 hours into the tournament and no sign of fish for me. The questions start swirling around in my brain now. Is it the location? Is it the lure? Is it the presentation of those lures? Do I need to move to a different place? Do I need to try different lures in the same place? This is the part of tournament fishing that I really need to work on, because I'm used to going out and just floating around and throwing whatever seems fun at the moment, like, you know, just having fun. But I really want to start focusing on better results, so I have to start making better decisions. So this is good practice for that. But one thing I know is I'm not heading out to the main lake until this fog lifts, because I hear those boats zooming around out there and I just still don't think it's safe. So I think I'll hit the end of this cove and turn around and fish the other shore out, but try to move a little faster than I did on the way in. And then hopefully by the time I get out to the mouth of the cove, the fog will be burned off a little bit, and I'll be able to start hitting some of those main lake points and the secondary points close to the mouth of the cove. Well, seeing as how it's my first day out this year, I'm pretty impressed that I managed to bring everything I needed. I haven't run into anything I've forgotten so far. So, and everything's working pretty well organization-wise. Of course, I haven't tried to get a fish on the measuring board yet, so we'll see how that goes when I get a big one. Still working on that part of the plan. I never know if checking the standings is a mistake. I just looked at the standings and 25 people have fish already registered. So that means that it's not that it's a tough bite. It means that I'm either not in the right place or not throwing the right thing or something. So I've got to make a move, got to make a change, and got to get some fish. So my crankbait was bringing back a bunch of old grass and kind of mossy, slimy stuff. So I'm going to try my chatterbait, see if it comes through cleanly, see if I can get a reaction bite with that. wind's picking up a little bit, and that might help my moving bait bite, like my chatterbait and my crankbait. They always seem to do a little bit better in the wind. Uh-oh, tree. I'm amazed with as many boats as I saw just a few minutes ago. I have this all to myself. It's quiet, there's no motors. This is wonderful. Now I just need some big bass. I apologize for the horrible net handling skills, but oh my god, I didn't want to lose that fish. Holy cow, I caught a fish! All right, let's see if I remember this routine. Okay, not so organized yet. Okay, let's see how this goes. So the good thing about this big net is that while I'm screwing around with the pictures, making sure everything's good, the fish has been chilling in the net. So here's fish number 1, 13.5 inches, hopefully more to come. You know, the forecast for today was a high of 71 and full sun. and yet I'm still wearing 3 jackets and my winter hat. So they got this a little wrong today, but I'm not unhappy about overcast, and the wind really helps my reaction bite. But still, whew, I am so glad I put on these extra jackets at the last minute. It was 41 when I launched, and I thought, man, it's gonna go up to 71. As soon as the sun comes over the hill, it's gonna be warm. So I thought about toughing it out, like without a bunch of layers, but I'm so glad I have the layers right now. Drifting. I got the one, and so then I paddled up and did the drift again, but didn't get one.
Oh, on the Thunder Cricket?
It's the evergreen.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, firecraft. Just because last year at this time was when I first discovered the chatterbait, and I wanted one of these because everyone wanted one, and they were all out of the firecraft for spring. So I ordered one over the winter just so I could fulfill that, desire. And look at that, it got me my first fish in 2021.
Yeah, this is the first time you've been fishing?
Yes.
Really?
Oh my God, trying to get my kayak ready and everything. I'm like, I don't even know what to bring.
I started off with this one, I fished this one. I haven't touched this one or this one, I fished that. So everything but 2.
Oh, that's nice. All right, we got a picture of John taking a picture of us. Okay, here we go, fish number 2. Okay, so that's fish number 2. He was only 13 1/4. Well, I finally got warm enough that I'm down to my fishing shirt, which is my new high visibility orange shirt that I got specifically for fishing on lakes where there's like no horsepower limit and the boats are zooming all around. So I knew today there were 2 bass boat tournaments and a catfish tournament. So I did not want to be invisible to them, and my kayak is kind of small and sits pretty low to the water. So even though I do have my safety flag up there, I wanted to be as visible as possible. So this lovely shade of orange is my new Busy Lake fishing shirt. And of course, it is sun protective. So gotta protect the skin. Well, there are only 30 minutes left in the tournament and I'm still 3 fish shy of a limit. Man, I really have to figure out how to put together a 5 fish limit in one day. Although now that I think about it, this tournament might be a 3 fish limit. Cincinnati Kayak Fishing is more like beginner friendly. So they usually do an 8-inch minimum and 3 fish limit. But if I ever want to be able to compete like in the bigger tournaments, you know, in the big leagues, I have got to learn to get 5 fish in one day. It's just something I really struggle with. I feel like with the wind having died down that the chatterbait might not be the best option anymore, but with only 30 minutes to go, I feel like I need to cover as much water and make as many casts as I can. And you know, with a worm, it's so slow, you don't get as many casts in. So I'm gonna stick with the chatterbait. I mean, it is what's caught me my 2 fish so far, and there is grass along this stretch of the bank. So fingers crossed, just a couple more fish. Well, it's 3 o'clock, line's out. Unfortunately, tournament's over and I only got 2 fish. I got a 13 1/4 and a 13 3/4. So not at all what I'd hoped for, but I mean, I guess it's better than no fish. So got the first 2 fish of 2021 under my belt. Got my first trip out. Kayak still floats. I've still got all the stuff. Kind of remembered how to measure a fish and all that stuff. But really hoped I did better in the tournament, but you know, there's always next time. So I kind of want to do a little shout out for the people I saw on the lake today that said they've seen my videos. If you guys happen to watch this one, hi! It's always nice to run into people who say they've seen my videos. Hopefully they're a little helpful, either in showing you what a lake is like as I bring you along on my fishing trips, or maybe in learning from my mistakes, you know, trying to figure out how to do the catch, photograph, and release of kayak fishing tournaments. So, but it's always kind of funny and cool to run into people who have seen the videos and recognize me. So shout out to you guys. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you get a chance and you want to subscribe to my GirlGoneFishing channel, that would be awesome. If you have a YouTube channel about fishing or anything cool, go ahead and drop it in the comments and I'll subscribe back to you. So thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.